welcome back, Drama Alert Nation. I'm your host, Willie Mack. I'm covering for KEEM this week while he's on his birthday vacation. So make sure you wish the gnome a happy birthday in the comments. But we still got a lot of news today, so let's get into it. NELK had Donald Trump on their podcast, and YouTube has struck it down. Dr. Disrespect finally gives us an update after his lawsuit with Twitch. David Dobrik is getting sued by Jeff Wittek. More on that later. And Alex Wasabi defends Deji from KSI. But our first story has to do with FaZe Temper. Everybody knows he was robbed at the Showstar boxing event, where they ended up ruling King Kenny the winner. People were saying that it was rigged. Well, Temper's appeal finally has a ruling. The Professional Boxing Association has released a statement ruling Temper the unanimous winner, with all three judges in his corner. Temper tweeted, "Thank you Showstar Boxing for making it right. 1-0, #unanimous." But the best part to me was Showstar's response to it. "We try our best to keep our fighters and fans happy. The judging officials were provided by an independent boxing body who have considered Temper's appeal. Congratulations to Temper on the win." It's basically them saying, "See guys, it isn't our fault. We didn't judge anything." But if you actually take the time and read the statement from the Professional Boxing Association and why the match was judged so poorly in the first place, they completely blame Showstar. "It is our duty and responsibility as a regulatory body to ensure that the correct decision is made. Due to the dangerous and chaotic circumstances experienced by our officials during the Showstar event on the 5th of March 2022 at Wembley OVO Arena and what subsequently resulted from it, we accepted Temper's appeal of decision based on the grounds that our officials were subjected to working conditions that were not normal when it comes to properly and accurately officiating an event. The event was already widely considered an unorganized disaster, so the fact that the judges weren't even properly taken care of is the cherry on top of the crap sundae. Hopefully they learned something from this." King Kenny was a good sport about the whole thing, tweeting, "Congratulations to Temper. We put on a heck of a show for the audience, and it was a great fight. Anissa updated us on iDubbbz training, showing that he took a pretty good bump to the chin. Can't wait to see him in the ring." Next, we got Jeff Wittek suing David Dobrik. This goes all the way back to when Jeff got hurt during a David Dobrik stunt. He busted his head wide open on a crane, lost vision in his eye. Well, David recently said on a podcast that it was Jeff's idea.
And then he asked, he's like, can you promise me one thing? And I said, what? And he's like, can you just promise that no one ever knows that this was my idea? And I was like, absolutely. Like, that's not a big deal. And then that's the promise I broke recently.
Yeah, Jeff was not happy about this.
Hospital bed. They cut all my off. My chain, they give him my chain. He's the only one allowed in the hospital, so he's the only one there. My brain is hanging out of my skull. But my one last wish was, David, please don't tell anyone that this was my idea. Are you out of your mind? Are you that sick in the head? I've never once in my life said, David, I know I might die right now, but if I die, make sure nobody ever knows that I asked you to smash my head into the crane.
Now, David does clarify that it is ultimately his fault since he was the one driving the excavator when Jeff got hurt. He does say he feels like he's taken a little too much heat for it, though.
I am the one controlling the thing. He got hurt because I was driving. That's it. And I know that. And like I said, any chance I would get, I would take that back. Any chance I would get. And that'll be the biggest regret of my life, my entire life. I really hope there's not a moment that I regret as much as that one. But that, then when it gets to the point where it started to feel like I was taking 150% of the responsibility, right. I started to see things like David forced his friend up there, like all this kind of stuff, like that was just insane. And it like felt like people thought I like literally sent him up there just so he can swing off this thing.
Right.
Like that was not the case. And like the more and more that happened, the more I was like, what is going on? Like this is not what happened. It was a combined decision we made, and it was a complete accident. And I'm so sorry that accident happened.
Well, Jeff responded. He calls David a liar. He says he's going to leave it up to the courts.
I appreciate it, Dave, after the last hour of slander. Yeah, I'm not going to beat you up anymore. I'm just going to take this the right way, the smart way, and just let the courts decide. You're making a lot of statements here that are very untrue, that are so easy to disprove. So let's just let the courts decide, and then you'll have to sign a paper that says, yeah, this was a lie, and I'm guilty of this and this and that, and we can go that route about it, because let's be honest, I get no points for beating you up, and again, I'm an adult. That's not how I handle my situations anymore.
Our next big story is coming from Dr. Disrespect. He's been in a huge multi-year-long lawsuit with Twitch over his ban. He says he's lost millions of dollars over it.
I make probably a quarter of what I was making on Twitch. I'll tell you, man, it's been extremely disheartening. It's been a roller coaster of emotion, and it's absolutely sucks.
Well, it's finally over. Doc tweeted, moving on, with a signed card saying, I have resolved my legal dispute with Twitch. No party admits to any wrongdoing. He then says that he's not going back to Twitch. And that's it, really. There's been no extra details as to why Twitch banned him. The only people who know are Dr. Disrespect and the Twitch staff. We can only speculate. Look, I'm a big believer that this stuff always comes back around on the internet. Someone will leak it eventually, but as for now, that's all we got. We'll keep you updated as the story develops. Mr. Beast is apparently making his biggest video ever. We have 2 ginormous videos coming out this month. Also, give me a few months and I'm going to drop what will probably be our best video ever. I have an idea that's bigger than our Squid Game video, and so interesting and insane that I doubt it will ever be topped, assuming we could pull it off. Now, his Squid Game video is probably the most impressive thing production-wise I've ever seen on YouTube. So the idea that he's making something bigger than that is wild. We do have some potential leads as to who could be in the video. This is coming from the Sidemen.
We're gonna go film with Americans this year.
Are we?
Yeah.
Which ones?
That's a secret.
Tease it or not?
I think we just.
We're going on a nice little vacation.
Is there a reason why we don't say it?
Yeah, we should tease it, right?
I think.
Yeah, I don't know why we don't say it.
Mr. Beast.
Jay. He's a nice American. He's from like Middle America, right? He's not from.
Oh, it's East.
Logan Paul.
Jay. No. They're fine. I don't know. They're fine.
FaZe.
I don't mind them. I don't mind. They're fine. Like,
FaZe Rug.
Aiden Ross. No, I mean, you can't judge someone based on their nationality, which I've learned.
But you have done it in the
You've had
past.
to learn that.
Are we not all agreed that Americans are a bit annoying?
I agree. We are pretty annoying. Last episode, we talked about KSI trashing Deji for losing his boxing match.
Lost 3 times. 3 times, man. Do you like losing?
Well, Alex Wasabi, of all people, has come to Deji's defense.
This is your little brother. I can understand tough love, but why do you have to be unnecessarily mean to your family? Family is everything. Everything. Like, come on. How am I the one defending your little brother? There is a fine line between tough love and just being an asshole. After everything that man has been through, you just had to pile on.
He's now throwing down the gauntlet against KSI.
Just do me a favor and keep that weight up, boy. Because if you come anywhere close to entering my weight class, I will humble you. And I guarantee that your little brother, being the good man that he is, will be there to pick up the pieces. He will be there for you.
Yo, I'm there for it. I think it would be a good fight to get KSI back into boxing. Our last big story of the day is NELK. They had former President Donald Trump on the Full Send podcast. It received over 5 million views in a day, which is insane, especially for a podcast. Well, YouTube struck it down. Kyle tweeted, YouTube has deleted our Trump episode that had over 5 million views in 24 hours. He then showed that it was a community guideline strike, infringing on YouTube's misinformation policy. YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki has been very vocal over the years when it comes to the kind of content she wants users to watch. An excellent bit was done by America Uncovered about this.
They were actually going to prioritize videos from what they considered authoritative sources.
That didn't perform very well on our platform.
She says that basically the engineers at YouTube were telling her, like,
The users don't want to actually see it.
no one is clicking on these videos. That's just not what they want to see.
That's not surprising. People want to see the YouTubers they actually follow, the ones they made the choice to subscribe to, not what the heavily manipulated algorithm forces down their throats.
And so what do you do as a platform? Do you show it to them anyway? And so that's actually, I remember that very clearly because that was the first time I said to them, you know, it doesn't matter. We have a responsibility. Something happened in the world and it's important for our users to know.
And according to her, she said basically, like, too bad, we're showing it to him anyway.
I don't know about you guys, but I hate that a company is trying to control what is good and bad for us to watch. I'm an individual, I should be able to make that choice. This podcast getting deleted is now getting national press, with this clip going viral.
I'm not even necessarily going to blame you, but I will a little bit.
If this goes up or not?
You'll put it up. Let's see what happens when they take it down.
We're calculated, Don.
I think
it's a test.
I don't think YouTube would take it down. There's no way.
Take down
this interview.
This interview?
Donald Trump Jr. even tweeted about it. YouTube deleted the Full Send podcast with my father, just like he predicted they would, because they don't believe in free speech. This even got on the news.
But you were on the Full Send podcast for an hour. You made them #1 on all of YouTube podcasts. You reached over nearly 6 million views, and then immediately YouTube removed the video.
Well, it's the NELK boys, and I was asked to do that by a tremendous guy named Dana White, you know, Dana White of UFC, and he said, would you do an interview with them? And they're hot as a pistol, and they have, like, I guess the top show or something. And so I did it, and we had a lot of fun. It was a half hour or so, and it became very much a sensation. I guess they had 6 million hits in a very short period of time. It was the #1 they've ever done. And then I told them, I said, don't worry, it'll be taken down because I'm doing it. It'll be taken down. And I just heard a little while ago they got taken down.
What a weird timeline. We got a former president writing articles about NELK. I don't know what the best solution for all this is, but there's got to be a better way than straight up banning content. That will be it for today, Drama Alert Nation. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell because we will be updating you on all these stories and more. Till next time.